Magic players and puggy lovers of all kinds. Since we missed you yesterday, we thought we'd do something special for you guys today. So, we got dinner. And then there's going to be a show. But first, the dinner. Here you go, Kaiba. Yes. Daddy had to go and drop off the car today at the repair shop where I'm presuming, but I'm not 100% sure. I forgot to double check the safety before I started recording this. But I presume that... What's wrong? I sit with you. Yuck. Steak? You like steak? I know. So I presume that this is the auto shop that did the safety originally on my car. And they kind of did a shite job of it, apparently, according to my dad, because he had a feeling there was something fishy, so he took it into another shop to get it looked at. And it needs a few things to pass a safety according to the second shop that were definitely not done before it was sold to me, because there's no way those things all went to shite in the week that I've had it. So... my dad insisted that we go to the dealership yesterday to complain, and the dealership said that we would take it back to the car repair shop today. And I'm hoping that by the end of the day tomorrow, I can have it back. They finish at like 3, so it's a weird end of the day, but it's still. If I can get it back, that'd be great. If not, I'm going to have some serious problems come Monday, and I told them that, so hopefully they will listen to me, but... They did seem kind of, as my dad suggested, fishy. And a little irritable, actually, as well. Instead of being kind enough to, want to really be invested in the problem, they seemed absolutely surprised that I was there, first off. And then they, my dad had thought that they would give me a ride home, but they definitely did not offer that. And I, you ate that really fast. I was hoping to get that ride so I could avoid going to the card shop that's over there, because there's a card shop I really like over in that direction. But I was really, really good, and I knew that I had to also grab something to eat because I was going to be tired again. Apparently that's what happened to me yesterday. Thankfully not concussed, which is a good thing, but I got hit in the head yesterday with a box, and then we worked basically like 7.5 hours without a break, essentially, or with only one break, so it was kind of fucked up. But we finished the shift, and then I felt like really dizzy and nauseous and stuff, and so I thought that I was concussed because of the head injury, but I needed to just eat some stuff, and I was feeling a lot better after that, except for the head. My head still actually hurts quite a bit, but it is what it is. But anywho, so for today, I wanted to do a makeup for yesterday, so I'm going to do the final episode of Dominaria versus Spider-Man, or Spider-Man versus Dominaria, rather, in a few minutes. But, since I knew I was going to be grabbing something to eat on the way home, I promised myself I would not go to the card shop, and I managed to avoid doing it, so yay me, avoiding temptation. And as a reward for me avoiding temptation, you guys get to see this show of Kaiba eating his dinner. And I'm also going to open an extra pack today of cards at the end of the pack battle, which will be a pack of Avatar cards, because I figure I deserve a little treat. So that is the plan for this episode of New Set versus Old Set, once we get over to there. And when we do, I will do the proper introduction for that. Looks like somebody's done. Was that good? Was that very, very good? Yeah? Did I make a short video, and then I will take you out for a W. We're doing this one downstairs, and then My dad's actually out of the house for a good chunk of the day, so if I get through this and we get through Kaiba's walk quickly enough, I'm hoping to come back and actually record the episode of Commander Core Creator Challenge as well. I haven't decided what I want to do for Super Deck Sunday. It should be a Yu-Gi-Oh deck, but I don't know which one I want to do, to be honest. So I'm not probably going to record that today. And I actually thought about doing this as a live stream for a bit, but I decided against that. Anywho, it's time for New Set versus Old Set. So this series is all knotted up as far as I remember. I believe that was what we left it at as of the last episode. Shoot, I forgot to double check that actually. I'll be right back. And through the magic of editing, it's like nothing ever happened. I understand why I got confused now. I forgot how the weeks were. I mixed up week 5 and week 6. So that's why I was confused. I have been a little confused about something since I got hit in the head the other day too. So that's why I'm still on the fence about whether I might have had a minor concussion, but meh. I'm seeming to do okay right now. And it actually led to something pretty positive. I'm going to get moved to a different section of the factory at work, which is nice because I will no longer have to deal with that jerk who was my boss. Or my supervisor, rather, not my boss. And then I also do not have to deal with the person who's injured me twice now in 2 weeks. So, pretty stoked about that. But anyways, in the meantime, in between time, it was Dominaria who won last time. Not Spider-Man. Spider-Man won round 5. That's what it was. So we are tied 3-3, heading into this final round. Or no, 4-4. Is it 3-3 or 4-4? Okay, there was a tie, then there was 2. It should be 3-3. Maybe it was 4-4. Maybe there's been 2 ties. I'm going to go with 4-4. And yeah, I'm not going to go double check that again. What's up, buddy? You gonna come over and eat your marrow bone? Yeah. So we will open Dominaria first, and we will open Spider-Man second, and we will see which one wins the set series. And since this series is coming to an end, our next series will be starting hopefully next week, and it will be Avatar versus Zendikar Rising. And speaking of Avatar, as I said, I will open this play booster of Avatar at the end of the video. So we'll just put that right up here above Jace's head. So he's got it in mind for us. And yeah, let's get cracking. I love how easily that opened. I opened that one-handed and it was like nice and simple and beautiful. Not like the packs of today that are insanely difficult to open. I'm actually trying to preserve the artwork on this one because I really like this bird art. It's cute. Anyways, let's get into this pack of Dominaria. I always forget if there's a pack trick. No, not for the Dominaria. Okay, so we will start with a Feral Abomination. It is a 5 in black for a Thrall. There's a 5/5 with Death Touch. You gonna eat your marrow? Yeah? Oh, I see. Okay. Good boy. In case you're wondering, the towel's there because when we go outside, he gets snow all over his paws and then comes in with like muddy/snowy paws. And my dad doesn't like that on the floor. So I try to make what I can go. I'm going to go with the Feral Abomination in the middle. It's expensive, but you get a 5/5 with Death Touch. That's okay. Dominaria cards are always a little bit curled, which I find interesting. Because they're not, you don't really have any hollows, I don't think, in these packs. You might have one, but that's it. So it's insane that how much there's a curl to the just the original printings. 1 in a blue for 2/1, Human Rogue. Relic Runner can't be blocked if you've cast a historic spell this turn. Interesting. I like that one. That one has a good feel to it. Healing Grace. 1 white for an instant, prevent the next 3 damage that will be dealt to you any target this turn by a source of your choice, and then you gain 3 life. Like that. You can go up there. Radiating Lightning. 3 and a red, deals 3 damage to target player and 1 damage to each creature that player controls. Okay, that is cool. I know what deck I want to put that into because that is freaking awesome. I definitely know what deck that's going into. So that is a huge hit for me. I'm happy with that one. That is currently the hit to beat. 2 and a green for a 2/3 with kicker 4 and a green. That's an expensive card to put into play. If it was kicked while it enters the battlefield, though, you gain 10 life. So, I mean, if you're down on your luck, that's a pretty decent way to gain some life back. But I'm still going to mid it because that's expensive. Basically, you're looking at paying 7 and 2 green to get that and get the 10 life. 1 and a black for Caligo Skinwitch with a kicker of 3 and a black. So this is going to be another expensive one. When it enters battlefield, if it was kicked, each opponent discards 2 cards. That is also pretty decent, but also expensive, so it's also going mid. Next up, we have Shivan Fire. Red with kicker 4. My goodness, this is the pack of kicker apparently today. Somebody's finished the Marrowbone. Deals 2 damage to target creature. If it was kicked, it deals 4 damage to that creature instead. No, that one's terrible. I'm going to bottom that one. That is the first bottom of the day. Saproling Migration. 1 and a green with kicker 4. Man, these kickers are strong. You get 2 green Saproling creature tokens, but if you kicked it, you get 4. Still mid. But that might make it into my Saproling Goblin deck that I'm building. Aven Sentry. 3 and a white. Sorry, almost said blue. For a 3/2 with flying. I mean, it's not terrible, but if it was a 2/3, it might go top. Instead, it's going mid. Academy Drake, 2 and a blue with kicker 4. This really is the pack with kicker. How many things have had kicker so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. 5 different spells with kicker so far. So this one has kicker 4, 2 and a blue, so that makes it 7 to play if you want to get the extra. And it's a 2/2 with flying that gets 2+1/+1 counters on it. That is not worth that, no. Time of Ice, though. This looks interesting. 3 and a blue. Tap target creature an opponent controls. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for as long as you control this thing. Return all tapped creatures to their owner's hands. Ooh, I like that. That's pretty cool. Is it better than Radiating Lightning? I'm going to say yes and no. I'm going to call them equal hits on this because the reason this one's such a good hit is because I know what deck I'm putting it in. I think I've shown you this deck on the channel before. Pretty sure. I have a black and red Spellslinger deck that essentially focuses... Well, it's not so much a Spellslinger. It's kind of a Spellslinger deck. Anyways, the main focus of the deck is to just deal a whole bunch of damage, and the commander gives me lifelink and death touch. So that, if I give it the lifelink and death touch to this spell, would wipe out somebody's board. And that's pretty sick. This, on the other hand, could also wipe out somebody's board if they decide to actually attack the turn that this is going to return everything. So they have to play kind of smart. And since it's 3 and a blue, it will take a little bit longer to put into place, just like that one. So, I mean, I like both these. I'm going to call them both equal hits for the day, so far. Cast Down. Destroy target non-legendary creature for 1 and a black. Yeah, why not? Fungal Plots. That's always a good one to pull. 1 and a green. Doesn't really do anything when it comes into play, which kind of sucks, but pay 1 and a green, exile a creature from your graveyard, and create a Saproling. And then you can sacrifice 2 Saprolings to gain 2 life and draw a card. So, I mean, I do already have a copy of this, and it's going in my Saproling Goblin deck probably for sure too, but I do also have another deck that does, or a couple other decks that do Saproling stuff, so an extra copy is not a bad thing. Ooh, we got a new... Ooh, this is a good one. Lyra Dawnbringer. 3 and 2 white for a legendary creature, Angel. Flying, first strike, lifelink. All other angels you control get +1/+1 and also have lifelink. That is the hit of the day. Sorry, Radiating Lightning and Time of Ice. I do love you both. You're really cool cards. But that right there is definitely the hit of the day. And there's our land. And we got a Supperling token, which just makes perfect sense for the pack that we pulled. So, pretty solid pack by Dominaria to finish this off. We definitely got a decent pile here of top stuff. Not insanely big, but a decent pile. But these three are going to be tough to beat, I think. That is definitely the top three for sure. And they are definitely solid pulls. I think this was actually in Snoop's deck recently that he put in for our Commander Core Creator Challenge last month. Can't remember for sure if he included that one or not, but I think it was. I'm definitely going to be putting it into my Mono White Angels deck, probably. Might become the new commander of it, even. Can't remember who it's commanded by right now. Anyways, pack number 2. We're going to do the Spider-Man. I don't think it's going to work the same way that it worked for Dominaria as luckily, so I'm going to put this down while I rip. Rip! And I'm going to do the pack trick before I pick it back up. Because I want to make sure that you guys don't have to wait while I do that as well. Okay. First card of the day is Hot Dog Cart. I have very little interest in Hot Dog Cart, to be honest. I do like the fact that you make a food token when it comes into play, sure. And does tap for 1 mana of any color. Yeah, okay. It's a decent mana rock, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I just don't like it being in Magic. This is one of those ones where I like my Universes Beyond if they feel like Magic. Avatar feels like Magic to me. Lord of the Rings feels like Magic to me. There's a few others that feel like Magic to me. This does not feel like Magic. And I'm really worried that I might actually end up not liking Ninja Turtles, which is the other reason why I've only bought the Commander deck, besides the fact that I just don't have finances. I'm going to still admit it, because it's decent, but yeah. I don't think it's worth putting top, because it's... yeah. It makes me cringe. Masked Meower. 1 red for a 1/1, haste, discard a card, sacrifice this, draw a card. I mean, I don't necessarily want to sacrifice it, but it's got a decent effect. It's alright. You can get it on the board right away. Yeah, no, I'm going to still leave it mid. I think. I'll put it top, whatever. That's an okay one. It's not competing with those 3 by any means over there, but it's an okay one. Merciless Enforcers. 1 and a black for a 2/1 with lifelink. Pay 3 and a black. This thing deals 1 damage to each opponent. Yeah. I don't know if you get the lifelink off that. I don't think you do. I think lifelink's only combat damage, but yeah. I'm going to put you here. You're decent enough to get into play, but that butt is too weak. I don't like that. We all know my thing about small butts in this game. Not good. Not good. 3 and a blue for Beetle Legacy Criminal. Human Rogue Villain. 3/3. Flying. Pay 1 and a blue. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains flying until end of turn. If it gained flying permanently, this would be going top. But instead, it's going mid. This is the first legendary of the Spider-Man pack, but it's going mid. Subway Train, I've explained before. We've pulled this a few times. I'm just really not a fan of this one. First off, 3/1. Again, why the butt is so small. It's a train, for crying out loud. It should have a massive butt. And, you have to basically put in a deck that involves green in order to get the effect, and I think you don't have a choice anyways because green's in that flavor text, so yeah. I'm going to still min it because it's useful-ish in a green deck, but I mean, I just don't like it. I do not like it. Spectacular Tactics. 1 and a white. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control against hexproof until end of turn. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. That one's decent. That one's going top. Is it competitive enough? No, but it's decent. Professional Wrestler. 3 and a green for 4/4. When it enters, create a treasure token. Can't be blocked by more than one creature. So if you can find a way to give this thing menace, you basically make it unblockable, which is kind of cool. I wish it looked a little more like the I know why they didn't do it, obviously, and again, this would just make it so much worse in terms of Universes Beyond. But in the first movie, the character was played by Randy Savage, and I kind of would love to have actually seen a little bit more Randy Savage-ish flavor to this. But I'll take it. And I will put it top, because I think that's decent as an effect. Even though it's a little expensive to get into play, it's got some solid stats, and yeah. Green black, give it menace, you're pretty good. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Okay, well. I must have screwed up the pack trick somehow. I don't know how, but I must have screwed it up somehow because we still got a whole bunch of cards left here, and I've just hit the Motherlode card, which is the Soulstone, apparently, for this pack. So, yeah. Indestructible, taps for black, pay 6 and a black, tap it, exile a creature you control, harness the Soulstone. And then Infinity, at the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. I don't really understand how the Infinity works. Am I supposed to pay like all my mana to do that? But I do know that this is worth some serious cash, and I'm pretty sure it just unfortunately beat the snot out of this last group of Dominaria cards. At least it definitely will in some people's eyes. I'm gonna say that this pack needs to at least show me one more big hit, personally. I think it needs to show me one more big hit before I'm gonna give you props up top. But that is definitely insane. And yeah, I definitely somehow screwed that up. I must have skipped one extra card by accident when I did the pack trick. I don't know exactly how I did, but I must have. 3 and a green for a 3/3. When it enters repair or impound, we've seen this one before. He's a decent enough one. I'm going to mid him. Wraith Vicious Vigilante, 1 white and blue for 1/1 with double strike, and Fear Gas. It can't be blocked. How do I trigger Fear Gas? Do I have to trigger Fear Gas? Is it just naturally in play? Huh. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I'm going to put it top because that's still insane. Double strike on a 1/1 that can't be blocked. You could boost the snot out of that and make it a pretty solid attacker. So, yeah. We got another Craven. I think that's like the third time we've pulled Craven. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to use 3 of them. I'm going to mid it. I'm not going to call that a good pull this time. Even though it's decent for Vigilance and its ability is, what the hell. We'll put it top, but I'm not saying that that's competitive. The Wraith is kind of competitive. I'm not going to say it's a super good hit, but it's definitely up there. Is it Soulstone? No, definitely not Soulstone. Soulstone is definitely the top shit right now on this board. Unfortunately for me, because I was really hoping Dominaria would actually win this series, to be honest. Yes, I'm showing my bias a little bit, but whatever. Ooh, we got a fuller island to finish off our Spider-Man series. That's cool, at least. So far I pulled 2 full art swamps, I think. Maybe 3 even. I've got 1 mountain and 1 island. So I never got the plains and I never got the forest, but meh. So here's our hollow. So what in the hell? There must have been like, okay, maybe there are 2 big hits in this pack. Because we got the Soul Stone, and I definitely did the right pack trick. I know there's supposed to be the token, then the land, then the hollow, and then the big hit. So if we got an extra big hit, what's behind you? First off, scout the city, 1 and a green. Look around, mill 3 cards. You may put a permanent from among them into your hand, gain 3 life. Or destroy target creature with flying. It's okay. It's a decent enough sorcery. What's behind you, though? Because if we got that there, and we still have a hit behind this, what is it? Okay. I think that's supposed to be a really good one, too, actually, if I remember correctly. Miles Morales, 1 and a green for a 1/2. When he enters, put +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Pay 3 red, green, and white to transform him at sorcery speed, and he becomes Ultimate Spider-Man. First strike haste, camouflage 2. Put a +1/+1 counter on Ultimate Spider-Man. He gains hexproof and becomes colorless until end of turn. Interesting. Whenever you attack, double the number of each kind of counter on each spider and legendary creature you control. Okay, well, we just found my Spider-Man commander, I guess. I am not going to be building a lot with blue, apparently, unfortunately, because there was a few Spider-Man cards, like this one up here, that I was kind of interested in adding into a Spider-Man deck, but there is definitely my Spider-Man commander. And, getting both that and that in this pack, there's definitely no way we can argue. I love this Lyra. I love this Radiating Lightning. I love this Time of Ice. Dominaria, you gave it your best shot. But there's no freaking way you're winning against these. If you actually disagree and you really think that Dominaria won, please let me know in the comments, because I actually really was hoping to pull this out for Dominaria, but I mean, I'm not even sure. Like, I might actually sell that, to be honest. I think that's worth a decent chunk of change. I know I don't. I'm not sure what the hell I'll put it in, to be honest. I mean, that would be cool for a zombie deck, probably, I suppose. Yeah. Anyways, we have one more pack to open, an Avatar pack. And I know we're not going to crack anything as huge as this, I doubt, but I mean, the hands have been hot today, so come on, baby. Give me some love. Show me what you got tonight. I should probably stop singing along. Kaiba's wondering what the frick's going on. You also have a piece of your marrow bone stuck to your nose, baby. Last pack, and then we'll go for a walk. How's that sound? Yeah? Okay. Mm-hmm. Cracking the Avatar pack, and then I gotta take the puck. And hopefully I will get back with enough time for you guys to see the other in time to make the other video, because I don't know what my dad's up to for the rest of the weekend, but I kind of doubt that he's actually going to be out much. Alright. Geyser Leaper. Flying 4/3, Waterbend 4, draw a card, discard a card. That's not the best one ever, for sure. That's a little expensive to get. I mean, the stat line's decent enough, I suppose, but... You want outside now? I'll let you out, but I'm not coming. I gotta finish this video first. Do you need to go out right away? Give me 5 minutes. I promise. I go quick. Alright, I'm on a clock now. Waterbending lesson. 3 in a blue for draw 3 cards and discard a card unless you waterbend 2. That one's okay. I'm going to do, for this last pack, I'm going to do bottom, mid, top, and if I get any major hits, I'll put them above the coin up there. But I kind of doubt it. Like I say, I don't think we're going to get anything bigger than that. I'm going to look up afterwards how much that is worth, but that was an insane pull to finish this series for sure. Okay, back to this. Pretending Poxbearers. 1 and white or black. When this creature dies, create a 1/1 ally creature token. Sure, why not? It's a 2/1, which is kind of sucky, but you do get a bonus body out of it, so I'll admit it. Dai Li Indoctrination. 1 and a black. Either target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land permanent from it, they have to discard it, or Earthbend 2. Both of which are kind of cool, so I'm actually going to top that one. It is sorcery speed, but still, I'm going to top that one. Raucous Audience. 1 and a green for a 2/1. Tap to add green. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you get to add 2 green instead. I hate that it's a 2/1, but it is a pretty decent mana dork overall if you have a pretty solid power line. So yeah, you can go top. Next up, Cunning Maneuver. 1 and a red. Target creature gets +3/+1 until end of turn. Create a clue token. Okay. I do like the flavor text on that one. We've pulled it before, but I do like this one. Is that all you've got? Man, they'll make anyone an admiral these days. I think the boulder is going to win back the belt at Earth Rumble 6. Ooh, Earth Rumble Wrestlers. That was good timing for the quote. 3 and a red or green, reach 3/4, and it gets +1/+0 and has trample as long as you control a land creature or a land entered the battlefield under your control this turn. Pretty solid for a land deck, which I am eventually going to probably build if I can pull a second Toph. Apparently it might be Toph. I heard some people trying to explain to me that it's supposed to be Toph, but I really don't think that's how I hear it pronounced when I watch the show. Avatar's Wrath. Okay, again, did I screw up the pack trick again? Because how did we go from commons to a rare? 2 and 2 white. Choose up to one other target creature, then airbend all other creatures. That's insane. Until your next turn, your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. Ooh. So you get to clear their entire boards, save one of your own. You can put all yours back out if you airbend them back in, sorry. But they have to wait one full turn before they can. Nice. That is a hit. That's a nice hit. Trusty Boomerang. 1 for an artifact equipment. Equipped creature has 1 tap target creature. Okay, 1 tap. Tap target creature. And then return this thing to its owner's hand. Equip 1. Yeah. Not bad. Ooh, we got Zhao, Ruthless Admiral. Not the one we need. The one we want is the Moonslayer one, because that's the one that actually lets you do the whole everything's a mountain thing. But this one's still pretty cool. 2 and 2 black, or 2 red, or a mix of black and red. 3/4, Firebending 2. And whenever you sacrifice another permanent, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. That, if it doesn't make it into an Avatar deck, might make it into my red-black sacrifice deck, to be honest, because that's a pretty decent effect. Kind of like that one. Master Paku! Ooh, I like Master Paku. He's funny in the show. He's annoying at first, but then he really grows on you in the end. 1 and a blue for a 1/3 with prowess, which is pretty solid. And whenever he becomes tapped, target player mills X cards, where X is the number of lessons in your graveyard. Damn! I might have to build a mono blue lessons deck or something, or whatever colors I want to use for lessons, but I mean, I'm just saying, that's pretty solid too. Okay, so here's our tokens. So we should be getting into the actual stuff now, in theory. So we got the boulder one, and on the other side, we got we got a soldier with firebending 1. Nice. Our land is Serpent's Pass. Enters tap, tap for blue or black. Pay 4, tap, sacrifice, draw a card. I don't like the fact that they have this stupid secondary effect. I don't like that secondary effect, to be honest, but I am pretty solid for the first stuff going on there. So yeah. Our holo is Combustion Technique. 1 and a red. Deals damage equal to 2 minus the number of lesson cards in your graveyard to target creature. That creature would die this turn, exile it. Oh no, 2+. Sorry, not minus. 2+. That I was going to say, that would really suck. Okay, so if you're playing a decent lessons deck, then this would be not too bad. And I do love the symbol on it. Sokka, watch out! It's Sparky Boom Man! Okay, and the hit of the day for Avatar is Earthbender Ascension. Okay, so we did pull 2 rares too, which is neat. Another double rare pack. We did good today, guys. We did really good. So this one. When it enters the battlefield, Earthbend 2, then search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Whenever a land you control enters, put a quest counter on this enchantment. When you do, if it has 4 or more quest counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains trample until end of turn. Neat. Plus, it's got Toph and the Badger Mole, which is really cool too. Okay, so I mean, we got a couple pretty cool hits in Avatar. We got 3 really cool hits in Dominaria. And we pulled the motherload of solid stuff in Spider-Man. So overall, new set versus old set, Spider-Man wins the series 5-4 or 4-3, whatever it is, but they win by 1 point by coming in with the biggest hit they could have possibly given me. And yeah, I am definitely going to have to create some sort of short out of this one. All right, guys. I have a pug who needs me. Much love to you all from Kaiba over here. And myself to you. Have a wonderful afternoon. And do look out for that Commander Core Creator Challenge video tomorrow, unless you see a post from me later today saying that my dad got home early. All right. Love you all.